Not yet, 20 minutes.
Almost.
Hey, Coach Rule rattled it off yesterday. It was kind of interesting to hear him say it. So he said, we got a sophomore quarterback, freshman running back, 3 freshman receivers, a sophomore tight end. So he's kind of going through this whole young core. Had you and him talked about just zooming out and seeing how young these guys are, and maybe this is a group that you can take for a couple of years, or is it hard to do that when you're in kind of the day-to-day grind of the season?
I haven't really thought about it. I mean, obviously know we're young at some spots, especially receiver, but, you just kind of just put your head down, you work, you grind, everybody's got the coach says it all the time. He does a really good job of developing coaches and developing programs from, doing it one way, and that's creating standards. And the standard that he has created through our staff and our staff's created through our units, I think that there's a certain standard that you need to live up to each day as a coach and a player, and that's just kind of the way we operate, whether you're 18 or 22 or 48, doesn't matter.
How far have those receivers, those 3, come maybe in the last month of getting to play more and then also getting to fail more during the game?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I mean, unbelievable growth from just 3 weeks ago, and like you just said, you get to play that many reps in a game, you're going to improve daily. So the amount of reps they get in practice now, the amount of reps they get in the game, just gets them better and better and better.
You've been in the box for a couple of weeks now. What do you like about that? Is that helping your calling?
I think so. Yeah, comps are. I was down there originally just to be with the quarterbacks. Hadn't been with Jeff before. Hadn't and the rest of them are young. Just to be down there with them if things started going bad, I'd called it from the box and on the field, and the coach gives me a hard time. He's like, "Yeah, you went in the box because it was 12 degrees that day," but that's not the case. I just wanted to get up there. Me and Garrett are up there. We can see everything. Drink a Diet Coke, which I know I'm not supposed to say. Drink a Diet Coke. Drink a Diet Pepsi, and be able to slow things down. There's no chaos up there. You're able to just kind of remove yourself from the emotional aspect of it and call it game.
Do you move somebody down to the field then when you go up?
No, we had a lot down there already.
About third quarter, sort of drought after the opening possession. What was the common denominator you maybe saw about why things weren't working?
First down production was just not there, which has been a common theme. We got to figure out ways as a coach, as a play caller. I got to make sure I'm putting our guys. It's easy to blame. Oh, the kid's got to execute, or this kid's young, and that's not it. I mean, I've got to put them in positions where they can go and have a chance to execute plays to get ahead of the sticks, and we're going to do that moving forward, making sure that we have every opportunity to go, gain the maximum amount of yards on each play.
There's always such a microscope on the QB. How do you see Heinrich cut through the noise, just locking in this building on, trying to get better?
Yeah, he's a tough kid, and I think that not a tough kid. He is a tough young man. And, I think he does a really nice job of compartmentalizing the noise and all that, and just kind of, he's trying to adopt, Coach Rule's mindset and our mindset as a coaching staff. It's all about us. It's all about coming and controlling what you can control. I know it's a lot of coach talk, but it's all truths. And if you are disciplined enough to do that, then life's a lot better, and you can develop a lot quicker.
How'd you feel he played in that game?
He was a little sporadic. We've got to continue to take care of the ball. And a couple of those fumbles, he was up in the pocket, so we got some good work on that today. But we have to take care of the ball. We talk about it all the time, and we're committed to fighting that war until we get it fixed, because that is, that's the reason we're losing right now. It's just we're giving the other team the ball too many times every single game. So we've got to find a way to get that fixed. We're working at it. But to answer your question, I think he's to the point. And I reference Coach Rule a lot because I listen to his stories. But just through the years, you get quarterbacks that when they come in, they start playing early. Right, they're young. They don't have a lot of demons in their head. They just play. They're glad to be out there. Every opportunity, every game you play, more and more information starts to seep in. Now you're not just playing and relaxing, having fun. You're thinking and thinking and thinking. So we're at that stage right now where I just told him, Heinrich just then, just relax, smile. Right, smile, have fun, run through somebody's face. Go back to the time where people were asking if you were going to slide or not. And we said, no, you're just going to run through their face. Go back to that guy, and you'll be fine. So, this week we're just working on him, just freeing up his mind and going and play as fast as he can, as physical as he can.
As far as people scouting Harburg, how much have you seen of that where people really adjust what they do to him, and how does that make your job challenging to kind of adjust what you're doing to do something different, because what you wanted to do is scout it out?
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of got a somewhat of a common theme of how they're defending us, and they have their different niches to it, but it is centered around. They know that they've got to stop our quarterback run game, and so each week you got to figure out early what they're doing and try to combat that with whether it be a play action pass, a reverse, or a fake quarterback run where somebody else gets it. So you got to be in tune to that early on in the game, and our staff's done a nice job of that to this point.
I think a week or so ago, maybe the radio you said about Malachi, he really gets after people as a perimeter blocker. When did that start to come? Was that immediate for him, or has it just been something that's popped up? Is he kind of the tone setter in that room on how to do it right now?
It was immediate from the blocking standpoint, because when you meet Malachi, he's this nice young man, very quiet and just humble, and then he gets out on the field and he turns into a monster. I mean, the way he blocks on the perimeter, puts people on the ground, getting knockdowns. It's been really impressive. It's been an infectious thing that has happened. Once he started getting called out in team meetings for doing that, I think the other young guys are like, well, I can do that as well. And you see them starting to, take that same edge on the perimeter blocking as Malachi has. So I think it's been good for our team, been good for our offensive unit.
You briefly mentioned earlier Garrett McGuire. I mean, with the hand that you guys have been dealt on offense, specifically at receiver, for as young as he is, I mean, how has managing that made him grow into a better coach?
I don't even know how, Garrett might be 24, I don't know, but he's the equivalent of a 45-year-old man. I mean, he's an old soul, one of the smartest individuals I've ever been around his whole life, obviously with his dad being a coach as well. I think he's handled it. He's the perfect person to handle it, because he comes in every day with unbelievable energy. He's a player's coach. He cares about his players more than anything in the world. And I think his players know that he would do anything in the world for them. So I think their relationship and this time and space where we are right now in that position room it's a perfect scenario for them and for us.
How much does Maryland blitz compare to maybe some of the other teams you play?
I think that that's a common thing that we get a little bit. They're very similar, to the last last couple teams from a blitz standpoint.
Godoni's kind of developed into that really nice safety valve and at times primary wide receiver for Heinrich. How has he developed from week one in Minnesota, where he maybe wasn't exactly all that, to now?
I think it's just like all the other positions. It's confidence. Every time he goes out and makes a catch, he gets a little bit more confident. We challenge him all the time just to, play the play and what's next. Like, don't, if there is a mistake made, don't worry about it. Just go play, because you're good enough is really good, And so I think he's realizing potentially, what he can become through hard work and development. And it's fun to watch him. It's fun to watch him practice. He practices, as hard as anybody I've ever seen.
How do you guys feel like you picked up the blitz in the last 3 weeks against Purdue and Michigan State?
It's disrupted us, a couple times, and our quarterbacks sometimes can save us, and we have that luxury of a running quarterback, but it's something we definitely have to improve on, especially once you've shown one thing, other teams are going to start trying to replicate. So I think, Coach Rowell and those guys are doing a really nice job of just making sure we keep an inventory of be ready for this and have a plan for things that are headed our way in the future.
What have you seen from Emmett Johnson the last couple of weeks, and do you think he could handle 15, 20 touches a game down the stretch?
I think he could. Yeah, I think, I think that he had a really nice game the last game. I mean, he had a couple runs where he got up inside and got vertical and got positive yards for us. I think that, he's going to continue to improve. His role is going to continue to grow. He does a really nice job in third down and pass protection and 2-minute situations. And we've got, Coach challenged me the other day, let's get him some more touches, because he's doing a really nice job of getting yards. He's kind of sneaky because he's just a great young man that does everything right and dependable, and you forget about how talented he is and how productive he is. If you just the touches he gets, he's falling for yards. Very rarely is he losing a yard. So very pleased with him. Thank you, guys.